tonight's episode with someone, with a friend. And if you're driving in your car, let someone know where they can hear TMG.
It's time to get on board. TMG is taking off.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to TMG. I'm your host, Travis Patton Sr. I enjoy discovering and sharing real-life moments of inspiration from everyday people. And this show is about finding moments of inspiration for our everyday lives. And look, and if you're going to tell me something, then tell me something good. Hi, everybody, and welcome to a new episode of TMG. I'm your host, Travis Patton Sr. Hey, guys, you know how we do it real quick. Don't forget to visit and like our YouTube page. That's Tell Me Something Good with a capital T. And as always, guys, I cannot start this show without giving a huge shout out to my biggest supporter and fan, my lovely wife, Nicole. Hey, girl, how you doing? I know you're watching. I know you're listening. Man, today's episode is going to be simply incredible. I know I may say that about all the shows because they are. And I thank you. They're incredible because you are here. And whether you are joining me for the very first time, this could be your very first time tuning in and listening to me. Let me tell you, thank you so much. I'm so glad that you are here. And maybe you're saying, Travis, man, I've been listening to you for the 4 years that you've been streaming. Let me take this moment to tell you thank you very much and how much I appreciate you for doing that. I really mean that. And whether you are listening in the Philippines or in Canada or in France, or maybe you're in Vietnam, or maybe you're in Germany, whatever part of the world that you're listening to TMG on right now, thank you, everybody, for tuning in. I appreciate it. Guys, listen, let's get some things out the way because I'm really excited to get this show started. Can't you tell? Just a little bit extra kick today. I mean that, guys. Listen, everybody knows that this show is all about finding moments of inspiration in our everyday lives. So if you have an inspiring story that you would like to tell and maybe come on the show and become a guest, guys, drop me an email at tellmesomething21@gmail.com. And say, well, Travis, man, listen, I don't want to come on the show because I'm camera shy, but I do know someone who has a great story that would be inspirational to your audience, man. Drop me that email, tellmesomething21@gmail.com. And you can even remain anonymous if you'd like. Guys, listen, everybody knows that this show now has some affiliate sponsors. And I have to play that information for them so you can be a benefit from that, guys. I'm going to play this information from our affiliate sponsors. Once I come back, the moment I come back, we're going to dive into this show. And you listen, you're going to love this, man. You absolutely don't love it. Don't go away. We will be back after this message. Come on in here, everybody. Walmart is a proud associate sponsor of TMG Tell Me Something Good podcast. Please use the special link bit.ly/Tell Me Something Good and visit our sponsor. Remember, I may earn a commission when you buy through this link. Amazon. Amazon is the world's largest online retail store. Please use the special link bit.ly/Tell Me Something AMZN for Amazon. With Amazon, you can spend less and smile more. Please visit one of our online sponsors today. There it is, guys. Please use the special links that are in the chat and visit one of our online sponsors, guys, because by doing so, you help support the show, but also pretty sure you can find some really good deals on there. Guys, today's episode, I know you've been waiting to get started on it. Today's episode is going to be a really great one. And I know you said, Travis, man, you keep saying that. Well, let me go ahead and just tell you all about today's episode so we can get started with this, because I'm just excited as you are. If you have not caught it, man, today's episode is entitled Stand Your Ground. Yes, stand your ground. That's today's episode, guys. As humans, under certain circumstances, we are wired. Humans have all this type of wiring in our minds and all this type of wiring that goes on with us. But as humans, under certain circumstances, we are wired for either fight or flight, which means we either are going to find a way out or stand our ground and fight. I have a question, though. What happens when there's no place to retreat to? All that is left to do is to stand your ground. Guys, our special guest didn't just survive breast cancer once. No, but twice. She is certified in positive psychology with over 20 years in leadership in the corporate world. Guys, do me a favor. I want you to give a huge TMG welcome for our very special guest, Sherry-Buckley-Brown. Sherry, what's up? How you doing?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm excited, Sherry, just a little bit. Not a lot, just a little right now.
Just a little?
Yeah, just a little, Sherry. I haven't quite made it to 10 yet.
Oh, God. We're in trouble.
I know. I'm still working my way there. My wife I tell everybody this in our meeting. My wife tells me I wake up on 10, and she's still praying the day I wake up on a 5 or a 6. Because she's like, dude, I need you to wake up on a 3 sometimes. It wouldn't even matter if you wake up on a 3. But she's gotten used to it. She knows that's just who I am.
I love it.
How you feeling today, Sherry?
I'm great. I'm doing fantastic. It's a Saturday morning. It's beautiful outside. I'm alive and well. God is good. Yeah.
Absolutely amazing. I'm so glad that you're here, Sherry. I really am glad you took out the time to be part of the show today, man. I know this is exciting. You're ready for it. I'm ready for it. Sherry, you and I talked before the show, and what a conversation it was. What a great discussion that we had. I learned your heart about what it is that you believe in and what you're doing, and I learned and saw, and your passion was palpable. I mean, you really could feel your heart to encourage and enlighten and help bring change in people's lives. And it just was, you could feel it, if it was there. So when you and I talk, your passion for what you do really kind of stood out to me. It just really stood out. Do you mind letting the audience in on exactly who you are and what it is that you do?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thank you so much. I'm really happy to be here today. So I'm Sherry-Buckley-Brown. I live in the Texas area. And as mentioned before, I have a certificate in positive psychology, which I really love, what they're doing around that whole positive psychology piece. I have over 20 plus years of leadership experience. I just dropped a book. So I'm an author, I'm a life coach and a speaker. And I really, my purpose is all of these things are really intertwined and it makes me who I am today. So I kind of talk about really my life coaching is around, the head, the heart, and harmony in your life, because they're all, intertwined. And So yeah, that's what I do. I help people unlock their purpose. Why you do what you do, overcome limiting beliefs, and then embrace a joyful, happy, harmonious life.
Awesome, guys. Listen, she says she's certified in positive psychology, and she has all this experience in leadership and in all the things trying to help people to realize, the impact that they play on this world, right? And that reminds me, if you look behind me, you see where February is Black History Month. And we're celebrating all the great achievements that African Americans have made, not just contributions to their town, to their city, not just to the United States, but to the world. To the world. And what Sherry, that plays so well into what you do, Sherry, because we have to understand, Sherry, that all of us, we can impact the world. The things that let me tell you something, guys. That dream that you haven't shared, that dream that scared the hell out of you, and then you said, "Oh my God, I don't know." It's been made to impact the world. The thing that you said you're going to put on a shelf, it was made to impact the world. What you have to understand is you were born with a purpose to impact the world, not just the family, not just the neighborhood. And listen, your world may be just your family. Your world may be just your neighborhood, but you were made to be an impact. You are more of an asset than a liability. I know the world didn't teach you that, but you are an asset. So Sherry, you go about and you try to teach people all these wonderful things and their potential of what they have. And how long has this been a passion of yours?
Oh my God.
That's an
Yeah.
answer. Yeah, I know, right?
You know,
You say, gee, man.
well, I feel like honestly, when you look back over your life, I feel like it's been in me for years, for as long as I
Uh-huh.
can remember, because I used to always pray, please let me be able to make a difference in someone's life.
Right, right.
Please, Lord, let me show me what my purpose-driven life is supposed to be.
Mhm.
And so I've been like operating in that mode for all of my life. I just kept getting, sidetracked by events that happened in my life. And then,
Mm.
the limiting beliefs that you learn as you grow up in your life has also been a part of my life, which um, kind of made me fight harder to be
Right.
successful, right? And sit at the table and do all these other things. And I just decided that I was going to continue to fight for these things. But yeah, I've been in this spot, it feels like all my life. It just kind of came full force. The coaching, which I've been doing, and didn't even
Right.
know I was doing it, right? When I was in the leadership role, I was just being this great coach and getting all this great feedback. And I'm like, why do these people think I know everything? So, so it's like a natural thing, which is why I want people to understand their why.
Mm.
It's huge that you understand your why.
Wow. So you've been kind of really doing this before you was doing this, so to
Right.
speak. Before
Correct.
you were formally out there, you were already kind of walking in this passion. And it's amazing. I find it amazing, Sherry, that most times when we are passionate about doing something about something,
Mm-hmm.
most times we are already doing it before either we officially have a title or officially somebody recognizes us or before something, but you're already doing your passion.
Yeah.
Yeah, whether it be speaking, whether it be encouraging others, whether it be coaching people, whatever it might be,
Right.
typically we are already walking in the things that we are passionately about. We just haven't recognized it. We're too busy
Right.
trying to do everything else. You said, Travis, I probably was already doing this. I was just distracted by other things in life. And that's what life does. That's what things
Mm-hmm.
happen. We
Mm-hmm.
get sidetracked by other things in life and
Mm-hmm.
the things that we are passionate about, the things that really drive us, that find our why. And we're
Mm-hmm.
going to get into that. We allow things to sidetrack us from our why, and we go from our why to what?
Yeah.
And we start questioning our
Mm-hmm.
why. What is that? What should I be? What? And we'll get into that later. I don't want to jump ahead, man, because It's so important that we understand that each of us have been enabled with a passion to do things. It's a drive.
Hmm.
I mean, maybe you like, writing, and you don't
Yeah.
know why you
Cooking.
write so much. Cooking, you
Yeah.
don't know what it is.
Whatever.
You
Yeah.
you humming a song. Maybe you may not be the person that sing the song. Maybe you are the composer. Maybe the song that somebody needs to hear is the one that you need to write.
Amen.
I'm gonna say that
Yes.
again.
Preach.
Maybe the song that somebody needs to hear is the one you need to write. Maybe the book that someone needs to read is the one you need to author. I'm gonna leave
Hello.
that. I'm not gonna
Mm,
go there. I'm gonna leave
I'm
that right
telling
there.
you. You gonna go to
But
church?
I know. Hey, man, listen. I mean, but we walk in our passion.
We do.
We walk in our passion,
Naturally.
and it is easy for us. Listen. I'm tell you something, man. I have I had two daughters, Latrice and Tiffany. These kids are math genius. They can just do math like this. And my son Alex can do math like this. Me, oh my God, I had to study. I had to study a month to do math. These guys just do it,
Right.
but it comes natural for them.
Right.
I said, geez, dude, you guys can just how? And
Hmm.
things that come natural for you, that's your passion.
That's right.
When you learned, now I gotta ask you about this because we gotta dive into stuff here, Sherry. We gotta dive into something here.
Yep.
Okay. When you learned, I mentioned earlier that you didn't survive breast cancer once, you survived it twice.
Hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
When you learned, I mean, man, when you learned you had breast cancer the first time, I mean, I'm certain it was tragic news for you. I
Yeah.
mean, it wasn't just news that you heard, it was words that changed your life.
Right.
And if you think words can't change your life, stick around long enough.
Hmm.
They will. There will be some words that will change your life.
Right.
I promise you, words will change your life. So when you learn that you had breast cancer the first time, yeah, man, I'm certain that had to be some tragic news for you.
Yeah. Yeah.
What was it like hearing it for the second time?
Mm. Oh my God. Like I feel it was a gut punch again because it was more like 10 years plus, after, supposedly after 5 years you're in the safe zone and the odds for it coming back have decreased. So when I heard that the second time around, I literally just sat down and shook my head and thought, this cannot be happening to me again. Um, in the same breast, in a different spot, and a different strand. You know what I mean? Like, so it was right around the time I had gotten engaged. You think about everything, your life, and it doesn't matter to me what stage that you get the news at, whether it's a stage 0, 1, 2, or whatever, the impact is the same. Like the thought process is the same. For me, for whatever reason, mine would always get diagnosed around the third quarter of the year. I mean, the fourth quarter of the year, around the holiday time frame. But yeah, so I was literally knocked off my feet. I was angry. I was thinking my husband, my fiance didn't sign up for this kind of thing, even though, they still got, thank God it was caught early again. And I just think, when you get that diagnosis, you start to think about like there's this foreign thing in your body that you just want out, right? And then after it's out, then you hold on to your seat and pray that it doesn't come back again ever.
Right.
So I made the decision after this. Well, so for people that don't know, once you've been radiated, you can't be radiated in the same area anymore. So the suggestion was, remove the breast, and I was like, well, okay, well, you're going to remove one, you might as well just do two because I'm not going to be back in this spot again. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. I'm not gonna put myself in that same emotional state again. If I can have to do something about it.
Right. Yeah. So it's an emotional roller coaster ride. It's you go through every emotion in the book: angry, pissed,
Mm.
in disbelief, can't believe this is happening to me again, kind of scenario. And
Okay,
But
only
then you
imagine.
also go to survival mode, right?
Mm, mm.
Yeah. You're like, oh no, I'm not. This ain't. Mm-mm. I'm about to fight for
Ooh,
my life. For my life. Yeah.
mm.
Yeah. I'm about to
Say
fight.
that.
Yeah. And I refuse to think of anything else but it coming out positive, right? And it
Exactly.
yeah, and it changes how you think about like the rest of your life as well. No drama anymore in my life. People with drama, like none of that. Like you just are, and you just want to be happy for the rest of your life, however long that is. At least for
Wow.
me, that's how it was.
Wow. A- And and first of all, Sherry, the courage that you have to talk about it, no one can really say, man, can really put a pin on that. This is amazing courage to talk about it. And we're not talking about something that happened to you once. We're talking about something that happened to you twice.
Mm,
Words that changed your life twice,
right,
Sherry.
right, yeah,
What words
yes,
that change? Here it is, and I'm thinking this, and you said it, and you brought out the point I was going to make. Here it is. You had gone on with your life.
yeah,
You had to start making future plans. Your fiance. There were Christmases since that first diagnosis.
right.
There were birthdays since that first diagnosis. There were holidays since that first diagnosis. And you said, well, Travis, it seems to always happen around the third quarter of the year, always around the holiday season. And
Mhm.
I can only begin to imagine how your mind begins to get traumatized around that time of year. We'll start saying, well, around this time of year, this always happens.
Yeah.
Around this time of year, this always happens. You always have some bad news.
Mm-hmm.
So psychologically, this had to be tough on you.
Yeah.
Psychologically, that had to be rough. And you answered some of the stuff I was going to say, man. How did this begin to impact the way you begin to process things like everyday life instead of making long-term plans? Did you find yourself saying, well, start shrinking back from those long-term plans and think, well, I got some goals, but no. Did it kind of impact some of your goals that you might make for yourself?
For me, and let me just mention this too. So it also, people don't think about this. Life insurance, as
Mm-hmm.
you once used to be able to get it easily, you
Uh-huh.
can't really buy life insurance policies anymore because when you're in that 5 year diagnosis time frame, you can't get a life insurance policy worth without spending probably not at all. And if you are, you're going to spend a shitload of money.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
but anyway, so you have to think about all of that. All that comes into play. Like your whole life is impacted, but for me, instead of it holding me back, I think it fueled me even more
Mm, mm.
to wake up every morning. And even though you have your good days, and that's what, even if you're healthy, you have good days and you have bad days.
Correct. Correct.
But it's what and it's okay to have a bad day, but you get your butt up the next day and you be like, okay, I'm gonna put that to the side and let me move on. But it fueled me even more to be like, I want to make I want to leave a message to this world. I want to live my best life
Come on, Sherry. Come
ever.
on. Absolutely.
I want to travel. I want to see the world. I want to. Um, my sister passed. I ended up raising my nephew from the age of 12, and
Sorry to hear that.
he had. Thank you. He has two kids. That's 3 and 6 now.
Mm-hmm.
So those are my grandkids because I never was able to have kids of my own. It just makes you operate different in your life and even in your career. Like, I worked in corporate America for years. I'm in still in IT. I'm maneuvering my way out of the corporate space, but I chose that because I knew I could make a decent
Mm-hmm.
living, right? But my real passion is coaching and
Okay.
yeah,
Right.
and motivating and empowering people. And so this diagnosis made me think about all of these things that it puts your whole it's like a world, it puts your whole world
Right.
on a spinning ball.
Yeah.
And you have to make some decisions, some
Say that.
solid
Say that.
decisions about how you want to live the rest of your life moving forward.
And
And
what
it's
matters most.
yeah, what's really important. Yeah, the little things that we fret over and think are so important in your life. Buying all these expensive cars, whatever it is, whatever floats your boat. social media, whatever it is that looks like you think that's so important. At the end of the day, it's about, because when you're sick, none of those things matter to you.
Say that, Sherry.
When
Say
you,
that.
yeah, when you've been cut from your side to side on your hips, right? And you can barely walk, and it takes you like months to recover because you've been gutted.
Say that. Say that.
Then none of those other things matter.
Nothing at all.
It's your health.
But your health. Because at the end of the day, Sherry, that's all you got.
That's all you got.
That's all we have. Man, Sherry, you are hitting on so many things that a lot of us are thinking about, things that I'm thinking about running through my head. And you're hitting on so many points. Sherry, here, check this out. So, not once, but twice, these things make you adjust your life. And you said, Travis, it didn't make me run. It didn't make me retreat. Oh, I thought about it.
Mm-hmm.
But I decided I'm going to stay and fight.
Yeah.
I thought about running. I thought about quitting. I thought about giving up. But I decided I'm going to stay and fight. I decided I'm going to dig in. And what I see, what I hear, and what a lot of us hear, Sherry, not just with you, but a lot of individuals we know that have gone through these things and are dealing with tough times, whether it's with breast cancer or anything, there comes a time, Sherry, you said we had to make a decision. There comes a time where you're going to have to make your mind up. Either you're going to run from it or it's going to make you fight. Guys, I want to show you a video to illustrate what we're talking about. Many of us are familiar with the game, or I call it a contest of tug of war, in which there are opposing sides, and one side attempts to gain an upper hand or an advantage on the other side. There was nowhere for you to retreat or surrender to, Sherry. Nowhere for you to retreat or surrender to. So you made up your mind, like in tug of war, you made up your mind to dig in. And what we hear, and what I hear from you and from a lot of us that's listening, there's going to come a time, Sherry, we're going to have to dig in. Yeah. Because whatever we're opposing is pulling on us. Mm-hmm. Whatever we're facing is pulling on us. And let me say this to the audience. Thank you, everybody, for joining, but let me say this. I don't know what's been pulling on you, but dig in. I don't know what you're facing right now, what things are telling you in your mind, but dig in. I know there's some things you feel like you should it's easier to quit, but dig in. I know it may be some thoughts. I lost this battle last time. I heard somebody last week lost the same thing. Listen, dig in. I don't know what's pulling on you. I don't know what you're fighting against. Maybe this isn't where you give up. This is where you dig in. And I know, Sherry, if you're on this show and you just told us you had to dig in, there's some people listening right now that have to dig in with some stuff that's pulling on them. Yeah, you better dig in. Listen, you didn't have a place to retreat to. You didn't have a place to surrender. You didn't have that. What are some things that help you decide to stand your ground?
So I feel, well, you don't have a place to retreat because you are it, right? You're the like illness is impacting you or whatever it is that's impacting you, you're it. And so when you lay down at night and you look up in that ceiling and you wonder, what direction am I going to take? Then the choice has to be, I'm going to fight. I'm going to take the choice because I am one of God's child and he didn't put me here to leave me, right? And so I felt like you need to process all of that. I'm saying it's okay to cry. It's okay to scream. It's okay to hurt, but don't stay there, right? you got to learn to practice self-care. Um, I had to I had to make my own retreats, right? I had to dig in and go deep and process and do self-care and write a book. And I prayed and I got quiet. I ran away when I needed to. I remember going to Oklahoma to one of those cabins because I just felt like I couldn't take
Uh-huh.
anymore. I just needed to be by myself, right? I
Right,
talked
right.
my friends and family's ear off, right? I would call them when I was depressed, right? I preached when I
Right.
needed to preach. Like all of these things, it's okay. Like, if you look up um, emotions in the dictionary, I had all of those. I had every last one of them. If you find it in a dictionary, that was me. But I surrounded myself with great friends and
Uh-huh.
family, and I decided no more drama. Like that Mary J song, it's in my ear. No more drama. You really don't want me to sing it, but
Oh, listen, my wife is a huge Mary J fan, so if you sang it, she might be.
she might come running.
I
I
know,
don't
right?
know. She might hang up. But yeah, you have to. Life is meant to be happy. To be honest with you, like at the end of the day, you'll face the hard times, but you gotta fight for what you believe in, and don't quit, right? Just don't quit whatever you do. And like I said, surround yourself with some good people because there's a lot of good people. Like Travis, we just met, but I feel like we are, connected. Sister and brother already.
Everybody tells me that they say, dude, we just met, and
Yeah,
I just feel like connected to you, and I thank you for that. I feel honored that you say
yeah,
that, Sherry.
yeah, for sure. It's true.
But you brought out a point though, Sherry, that and guys, listen, I don't make this show about race, but I want to bring this point up. A lot of African Americans, we've been taught whatever happens in the house, stay in the house. And we let it stay there, even though it's toxic, even though it kills us.
Mm.
And and as people, we grew up in a culture where you don't tell people when things are wrong with you psychologically, when you have stuff going on in your head. You don't tell them that. No, you don't tell them that. You tell somebody your arm broke, you tell somebody your leg is broken, but you won't tell them something's going on up in your head. You won't tell them that. And this is where all the problem starts up in his mind up here.
That
It
part,
starts up here. And,
right?
and, and we won't tell anybody, I don't feel good up here today. And
Right.
we'll try to fight every battle by ourselves.
Yes.
There is a reason that there is an army, a navy, an air force. There's a reason that there are different branches of the military. You know why? Because the battle takes place on a different ground every time. It may not be on the ground, it might be in the air. So you're going to need some airplanes. It may not be in the air, it might be a naval battle. So you're going to need a navy. The battle takes place on a different ground. Everything, you can't ball your fist up and fight every battle. Most of our battles, Sarah, are in our mind.
Yeah. Yep. And then
And,
they go to our heart, which
and then
impacts
it
our
goes to
health.
heart. And,
Yeah.
and now, say that. And now you're physically
Yeah.
dealing with what started up here.
Mm-hmm.
And you said, Travis, I had to get some support system around me. I
Yeah.
had to have some folks I could talk to and undress in front of them and tell them, I'm not feeling it today.
Right.
I'm just not feeling it, or you are humans today.
Mm-hmm.
And we have to have the transparency to get help when we need it. We
Yeah.
have to we have to decloak, and we have to stop hiding
Yes.
behind I'm strong. I can no, baby. I heard you
Mm-hmm.
say, Travis, I'm a child of God, but I needed some help. Baby,
Mm-hmm.
I don't care what you believe in. You're gonna need some help one day.
That's
You're
right.
gonna need another human being helping you with some
Mm-hmm.
human stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you're gonna need that. You're gonna need it. You're gonna need it. You truly, man, you truly have a passion for living out your why. And I heard you mention living out your why, and we should live out our why. What exactly is that, and what became your why? What made you dig in?
Yeah. 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 So like you take all of these in corporate America, wherever they give you all these psychological tests, right? And I've taken so many of them in my life, and all of them, to be honest with you, were very similar. Whenever and it didn't matter what year I've taken them, they all spoke the same thing. And every person has these things in them innately that they operate from on a day-to-day basis. So what I found out is my number one why is trust. And it's the most important thing to me. It's like what I work hard to create when it comes to relationships. And so that's what I realize when people want to be around me or feel like they value my friendship. That was the thing. That's why people would always come to me, because they felt this level of trust with me. And I operate from that space daily. And so everyone has three items. My second one is simplify. I tend to not believe in recreating the wheel. And so I always look at situations and I'd be like, oh, I can get results quickly if you do it this way and this way and this way. Or I tend to look at people, and after I have a conversation with them, I'd be like, that person would be really, they would do well in a specific job or career, right?
Right.
And then the last one is make sense. Like it has to make sense to me. So when people come to me with craziness, I'd be like, that don't even make no sense. Like, what are you talking about?
What is it even that you're saying?
That? Make it make sense, right? And those are the three things that I operate from. And so that all those are my why. And so that's why it's so, I feel like, the trust thing, it could be a good and bad thing, because if I feel like I give you trust, I expect it to come back to me the same way. And sometimes I may get disappointed, right? But then I know who I am, so I have to deal with that, right? As long as you know who you are and where you operate in your core, then that's when you start to bloom in your life.
That's good. That's good. And it's kind of like an apple seed.
Yeah.
We can plant an apple seed. That apple seed is genetically designed to produce apples. I don't care how badly we want it to become oranges. To the core of that apple seed is designed to produce apples. To our core, we are innately designed to produce the things that we are passionate about. And it's not a coincidence that you enjoy doing certain things. It's not a coincidence that you have a why behind certain things. Your why, it could be, has to be, and I learned this. Your why has to be bigger than material things. It has to be bigger than money. Has to be bigger than prestige. It has to be, because those things are fleeting. Those things will leave you. If your why is popularity, you are only as popular as that person is willing to push like on Facebook. You are only as popular as people are willing to follow you on social media. The moment they decide to stop following you, then all of a sudden your why will leave you. I just heard, Sherry, is your why has to be inside you somewhere.
Exactly. You need to know why you make decisions, why you make the decisions that you make.
Exactly.
Why do you do that? Like, what's in you innately that makes you operate in the way that you operate?
And when we've discovered that, Sherry, and sometimes we'll face those hard things about ourselves, but discovering that means we can now pull off the layers of the person that we have been, and we can become the person we've always known we could become.
Yes.
There's always a person in us that we can become. You knew you could become this, but you had this layer. We're so busy trying to hold on and be the person that we've been all our lives. We don't dare think that we could become someone else. Listen, Sherry, it's like a coin. It's like a coin. Most coins have a head and a tail. And we'll flip that coin in the air and it'll land on heads or tails. Some of us, we have been flipped in the air by life, flipped in the air by situations, and whatever we landed on, we thought that's the only side.
Yeah.
Whatever we landed on, we thought that's the only side. We forgot that the coin has another side. Let me look at the camera real good.
Ooh.
You have another side. Just because you landed on tails doesn't mean you don't have a head. Just because you landed on one side, just because your life landed on one side, does not mean that it's not another side to you. I'm here to let you know, hello, you've got another side to you. Flip the coin.
Right. Reinvent the wheel. Hello. Hallelujah. You said all of that. Seriously. Yes. I
Listen,
have tried everything, not everything, but you know what I mean? Like
I'm with you,
I'll
man.
reinvent myself in a
Listen,
heartbeat.
Sherry, listen, for the longest, I thought my life was one side of the coin.
Mm,
And when I began to dare to think that, wait a minute, maybe there is another side.
mm,
It takes courage to change the side of the coin that you on. It takes courage to change what you've been used to doing, used to saying, used to operating, used to thinking. Don't let nobody tell you or devalue your change.
yeah.
It takes courage to change. Sherry, what I hear from you, man, it took some courage to do what you're doing.
Yes. It
Not
took
just once to survive breast cancer, but twice.
twice and
Come on, man.
everything else in between that was thrown at me.
Listen, and it wasn't the cancer that got you. It was the stuff in between that shook you.
Yeah. All of
Because
that.
listen, the first time you heard it, you said, man, 10 years had passed. I'd had life. I had birthdays. There was holidays. There was celebrations. So here it is. You hear it again, and it shook. Everything in between gets shook.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. All the deaths
Man,
and even all the deaths in my family, right? All of that was piled
exactly.
on top of each other, right? Yeah.
Exactly.
If you live in life will just keep living. That's my grandmother used to say, just keep living.
We must have had the same grandma because my grandma used to tell us all the time. She say, "Just keep living, boy.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
keep living."
Yeah.
You truly, man, and I know you guys can feel her passion. I told y'all, man, she was no joke. You truly have a passion for really empowering people, and I
Mhm.
see that your why drives you. It pushes you of driving people's lives and seeing them grow. Um, what are practical things that you can share that we can use every day to become more empowered and grow?
Yeah. Oh my gosh. So I want to say, I want everyone, first of all, to just know that they have more strength in them than they realize. And if there is a thing, a one thing that you do well without thinking about it, I want you to just really hear this. If there's
I
that
like that.
one thing that you can think about that you do really well, maybe it's nailing putting a fence together. I don't know what it is, but whatever that one thing is, I want you to start to think about, is that the thing that is that where my passion lies? Can I make a career out of this? Could this be my purpose driven life? I want you to think about that. I want you to do an assessment of your life, get quiet and go over like all the years in your life and ask yourself, am I happy where I'm at right now? And if I'm not, what can I do to get to that place of happiness, whatever it looks like for you? And be honest with yourself. Maybe even start to ask friends, like, what do you think I'm good at? Like, it's a process. Um, I would also say what you tell yourself in your head is important. Like if you say every day I'm a piece of shit, then that's what you're gonna get because you've put these walls around yourself to say I'm not good enough. And in actuality, you are good enough. If you're still breathing and you're still living and you're still waking up every morning, you are worthy. I want you to um, things that happen to you in your life don't define who you are. What they do is just they make you stronger. They build onto the character that you are. And so I want you to use that to catapult yourself to that next level of happiness. Because at the end of the day, it's just about happiness and in your soul and in your spirit and being at peace. Because peace is priceless. You need to be at peace in your soul and in your spirit. Work on that. But it's about getting quiet. Like for me, I have to go to a quiet space when I feel
Mhm.
like antsy or out of place or like something's not going right for me. I have a great intuition. My gut tells me a lot, but I get quiet. I go to my quiet space, and sometimes it's I don't care if it's in a toilet in your house.
Yep.
Go get
Yep.
quiet.
Yep.
Yeah,
That's what I do.
and
That's
seek
what I do.
coaching, counseling, therapy, please.
Say that again, please, for the folks in the back and the upper seats. They're
Go
sitting in the left corner.
seek coaching, counseling, therapy, whatever you need to do to get better, please.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely. Yeah,
please.
I'm telling you, it works. It works. It works. It helped me turn my coin on the other side.
Yeah.
They didn't do it for me. They gave me the tools. They showed me that, Travis, your coin does have. I kid you not. One of the things I learned in my therapy was they taught me. They said, Travis, and that's why I get that analogy from. They said, Travis, you're only looking at your coin from one side.
Hmm.
Your coin does have another side. Turn it over. Flip it
Yeah.
over.
Hmm.
Listen, you are on a worthwhile mission, man. You are on a mission, Sherry. You're
Thank
on a mission, man.
I'm trying.
You're on a mission. You're doing well. You're on a worthwhile mission to share and provide information with as many as you can. Where can you be reached if someone wants to contact you? Like, you got a website or anything
Yeah,
like that?
absolutely. So it's www.sherry-buckley-brown.com. I actually have two websites, and I have a author one too. It's sherry-buckley-brown-author.com. I'm also on LinkedIn. I'm on Facebook. I'm on Instagram, and I'm on TikTok under my name, Sherry Buckley Brown.
Let me see, can I get your website up here, Sherry?
Yep,
That's you right there, Sherry.
that's me. www.sherry-buckley-brown.com.
Let's look at this. Let's take a go through this right here. So we have ways we can get unleashed today. Oh,
Mhm.
there's that why we just got through talking about.
Yes, yes. Unleashing the power of your potential. There's a free, go out there and grab the free workbook. There's a workbook out there too.
So if I click on this, I get the workbook.
Uh, Click on that. I believe it's on one of those.
Oh,
Yeah,
there it
click,
is. I see it right there. Okay, there we go.
there it is. Yeah,
Right
free
there.
workbook.
Yeah.
There you go.
Oh wow. So I can unleash. So I can put in my name in here.
Yep. You put your
Oh,
name and you can download the ebook.
oh,
Discover your why.
oh, guys. Let me. I'm not gonna ask you to do something I'm not doing myself. So hold on. That's not what you do. Let's see here. 21 at gmail.com. I'm not going to ask you to do something I'm not doing myself. I clicked it. I
There
got
you
my
go.
book. Click here to download.
There you
I
go.
got my book, y'all.
Yeah, go check
Oh,
it out.
that looks great. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. I'm not going to ask you to do something I didn't do myself, but you know what this is, man. What kind of party you think this is?
Yep. Go grab
We
your
don't
copy.
we don't roll like that, Sherry.
I appreciate it. I
What
appreciate that you showcasing that. Yeah.
what the kind of party they thought this was gonna be?
Right.
I don't roll that way. And I will read that because I do like things that will continue to help me become a better person
Yeah.
and a better individual. I think it's a life journey.
Yeah.
It's not a, and a lot of times and this is why I used to think this. I used to think that becoming a better person was kind of like running to the convenience store. You run in and
Mm.
get what you want for that moment, and then you go back to be who you used to be.
Mm.
And when
No.
it's not, becoming a better person in life is more of, oh, I went to this store, they were out, so I gotta go across town to get the other thing. Oh, when I went over there, they were out, so I had to go on the other side of town to get what I
Mm-hmm.
need. In other words, your stop to become a better person, our stop to become a better person, is going to take us to different locations and different spots, different journeys. It's
Right.
not all gonna be. It's not Walmart, baby. They all sold at one store.
Nope.
You're
It's
gonna
an
have to make
individual
different stops.
journey. Yeah.
Yeah. You're gonna make a lot of stops, a lot of places, and you're
Mm-hmm.
gonna burn a lot of gas, a lot of time, a lot of energy. It's gonna sun gonna go down. You're gonna like, man, I'm getting old. That's okay. Keep
Right.
driving. You'll get there.
Right.
You'll get there.
Yeah.
Man,
We plan for everything, right? We plan for vacations.
say
We,
that. Say
we
that.
plan for life insurance policies. We plan our career. We don't plan. Why can't we put ourselves as priority?
Woo. Now I heard you mention about a book.
Yeah.
Is this happen to be the book that you're talking about?
That is my book. Absolutely. I just launched it in January. Who will take care of me now?
Congratulations. Give us a little bit about the book. What's it about?
Yeah, so it's my memoir about my life. I lost my mom at the age of 12 at the hands of my dad, and I just talked
Mm.
through all of the emotions that I went through throughout my life, all the effed up things that all the feelings that you feel as a young girl, and I tell it from my perspective, and I go through up to where I'm at today, and I
Mhm.
give nuggets, things that I've learned along the way. I give you some nuggets throughout the whole book. I tell some funny stories, but the end of the book is about empowerment. It's about getting back up when things get hard, and
Mhm.
standing, right, standing back up, because you can do this. And so that's what this book is about. It's my first time out the gate. I'm so excited about it. I've gotten so much good feedback. People are saying that they can't put it down. I'm honest, but that took courage.
Yeah, absolutely takes courage.
That took
Listen,
courage.
anytime we're going outside of anything that we're normally do a lot of time,
Yeah.
we have to talk ourselves into it. And I'm glad, Sherry, that you talked yourself into writing this book. I'm glad, Sherry, you talked yourself into being strong. I'm glad you talked yourself into getting up. I'm glad you talked yourself into standing your ground and for digging in. Because if you had not, Sherry, chances are we might not be hearing you today. We might not have met you today. So our lives are better because you dug in. Isn't it
Yeah.
amazing how when we decide to dig in, somebody else can benefit from it? It's just like tug of war.
Yeah.
When there are other people behind you, man, I'm gonna leave
Yeah.
that alone. We forget when there's tug of war and there's other people who's pulling with us, somebody else is behind you and
Mm-hmm.
they need you to dig in. They need you to pull. You think, well, it's just me. It's only affecting me. It's only impacting me. Baby, you got a whole generation that's behind you that needs you to dig in. They
Yes.
need you to pull just like don't listen, when you in tug of war, you're not just pulling for yourself. You're pulling for those who are behind you. Who's behind you that you need to pull for? Who's behind you that you need to dig in for? Who's behind you that you need to stand your ground for? Sherry,
Yes.
I know, I know. Uh,
You have preached today, brother.
what is? I told you before this show started, Sherry. I said, Sherry, what is one parting, encouraging comment you have for someone listening that may have either been facing breast cancer or know someone who has, or just in a tough situation that need and just need a bit more encouragement through
Mhm.
their personal journey or trauma to help them stand their ground?
Yeah. Um, I would say the mind, the heart, and the happiness are all aligned. Stop separating them, because they all work together. And stop the limiting beliefs in their tracks when they start to impact you. Um, take it one day at a time, but stop the limiting beliefs, because those are things that have been imparted to us from maybe someone in your life, someone that
Come
says
on, man.
said
Come on.
something to you, right?
Come on.
And it's not true. Like, you can talk yourself into anything, but the mind and the heart and the happiness are all aligned. So stop separating those. Know that they all work together. Make sure your mind is right, and then your heart will be okay, and then you will find happiness. And go out and live your best life. Please, 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 please go live your best life.
There you go. There you go, man. Those limiting beliefs. Sure. That's a whole nother episode.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna dive back into that. That's a whole because they get passed down generationally.
Yes.
They get
Ah,
I'm gonna stop. They we got half the stuff. Here's what I learned: half the stuff that we be fighting in our minds, and I'm gonna say it this way I feel: be fighting. Half the
mm-hmm.
stuff that we be fighting in our minds
Yeah,
belong to somebody else.
that's right. Hello. It ain't even
You
yours.
you
Stop
fight.
accepting it.
You fighting somebody else's devils. You fighting somebody else's demons. You
Woo,
fighting somebody else's thoughts. That is not even your
it
thought.
ain't
How
even
do you know
yours.
that's your thought? How do you
Right.
know that belongs to you? Where did it come from? That wasn't even. Let me get out of here.
What? Say it, brother. Say it. It ain't yours.
Mary, thank you again so much for being part of the show today.
Thank you.
Sherry, man, you know you coming back. So you
Okay.
might as well get ready. You already here, Sherry.
All right.
I don't let folks go. You coming back. So just go ahead and put it down.
Okay.
Guys, thank you, Sherry
Thank you.
Buckley-Brown, for being here so much, man. We learned so much from you. We gleaned so much from you. So thank you. for your courage today. Guys, it's about that time. And as always, before I get started, get out of here, guys, let me say this to you. Psychologically, when we fight the same thing, you conquered breast cancer twice. Mm-hmm. So psychologically, when we fight the same or similar battles, others may say, give it up. We may hear the voice in our own heads that say, give up. Because sometimes all we have to go by are an example of those who gave up. And we'll hear that someone else tried to fight and they didn't win. But we have to continue to tell ourselves, we are not fighting another person's fight. We are fighting our own fight. Fight your fight and stand your ground. Guys, as always, it's been a real blast. And as always, guys, listen, you can tune in right here each Thursday, 6:30 p.m. Central, 7:30 p.m. Eastern to listen to the show. Now, guys, you can also stream us on your favorite podcast platform like Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Pandora, and so many more. Guys, before we get out of here, we want to thank our very special guest again, Sherry-Buckley-Brown. And as guys, as always, in parting, if you're going to tell me something, then tell me something good. I'm out of here. I got to go. Peace, y'all.